Pierce Brown, the journey back, that chapter seems officially closed now with this first Supercross win to start off the season like this. So just take us through the final lap and specifically that final corner. You see the finish line. What's going on under the helmet?
Yeah, Joe kept me on my toes that whole main. I mean, there were a couple of times he showed a wheel, and I wasn't really like I'd made a bunch of mistakes, ran into some lappers, and I would have been fine with a second, a podium. I mean, I was kind of just riding out there, like doing my laps, and I was able to get a good run through the whoops, second to last lap, so I got a little bit of a gap, and then the last lap, I just hit the whoops, flat corner, and I'm like, this is home free, so it felt good.
Kellen Brower with Swap Moto Live. Can you just talk about the evolution of how you felt throughout the day? Because it obviously starts with P1 and Q1. You said Q2 was a little so-so, and then the heat race was not a good start, and it took you a minute to get going, and then the main fired right on all cylinders. So how did you kind of feel as the day progressed?
Yeah, I mean, it was a learning day for me. It's been a while since I've raced a Supercross, full year. So, it took me a little bit to get like those nerves out of the way. I started off really good in qualifying, and then Q2 I was struggling with the whoops, and it kind of compounded. I couldn't really get a clean track, and then struggled. I think I ended up 6th, and then heat race, terrible start, restart, another bad start, and then I was kind of just like, playing it safe. There was chaos everywhere, like I just wanted to make it through the first couple laps and then make my passes, pick my points. But I was struggling with the whoops. It was really like it came down to that all night long. Once I figured out the whoops in the main, I think I was able to put the rest of the track together.
Trey Steyer, Transfer Motocross, motocross.com. I talked to you a few days ago, and you told me winning is going to take steps, and I know that we need to take some time to get there, but it seems like you didn't need very many steps to get on top. Has the feeling finally sunk in that you are officially a Supercross main event winner after all you went through in the past year and all the struggles?
No, it hasn't sunk in yet. But I've been feeling really good this offseason. I mean, been able to ride with Cole and Nate and even Caden, and the speed that we've been riding at the test track is winning pace. So I knew coming in that we have the speed. I just have to put it together. And like I told you, if a win was there, I'm going to take it. But if not, I mean, I'm thinking long picture, long game right now. I mean, I just wanted to maximize points. And, that's my goal from here on out, too. Shake things out the next couple races and, clean some things up. Because I do think I had a sloppy main for sure. It wasn't definitely wasn't up to my standards. So, we're just going to clean some things up and just try to keep getting better.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. By my accounting, this is your second win in the last 4 races. A lot's happened in between the two. But with Gas winding down in the SMX race that you won, can you compare these 2 wins at all? Which one feels best?
That first one's the sweetest for sure. But this one feels good too. I mean, I definitely can't say it doesn't feel good. I mean, I haven't really let all the emotions sink in yet. It's the first race of 10, and we still have a long ways to go. And red plate's nice right now. But we still have 9 races to go, and I want to keep on building. I mean, I'm sure everyone else is too. So I'm excited for the rest of the year.
Jamie Guida, MotoXPod.com. Let's talk about the track. This good dirt, but it broke down. It was a very technical track and got more technical as the night went on. So you had to ride it smart. Just talk about getting through the paces and not hitting the deck in those conditions.
Yeah, I was kind of, I was just at a question mark watching the 450 heats and then the LCQs, just not really sure where to go anywhere. The track was just hammered by the time we got out there for the main. And it was all about just getting the rhythms every lap, pretty much. I mean, that on-off was really big, and then the whoops were really big. But overall, I mean, I think start was 90% of it. I put myself in a good position, and then I just tried to click off my laps. Joe pulled away a little bit early, and then had a mistake and had to roll the finish. I got him there, and then from there on, I don't feel like I ever had any breathing room. Like, he was kind of on me the whole time. So, yeah, it made things difficult, but, yeah, I'm stoked to get the win.
All right, Scott Thompson, MotoExpo.com. Pierce, obviously the first round, trying to figure out where you stack up against everybody in the competition. What did you learn about the rest of the competitors, and what it's going to take to continue to beat them throughout the season?
Yeah, well, the good part is I know two of my competitors pretty well. I've been riding with them all off season. But yeah, everyone else is I haven't seen them in a while. I mean, I haven't raced in a while, so I think everybody obviously came out firing this first round, and it's it's going to be the tell of the next couple races, see where things shake up. I mean, yeah, I just plan on maximizing points the next couple rounds and see where we're at.
Thank you, Pierce.
Thank you.
Okay, Joe Shimoda. Joe, as it stands right now, P2, and we'll talk about the race, but just to be back in this position after the injury that you sustained was a major one. So what's it feel like to be back in podium contention?
Yeah, just to race here tonight, right? Like, it just came last minute. 2 weeks ago, I got approved by a doctor for me to ride again, and just coming off from last year, I just want to keep, building my momentum. And honestly, I'm just happy to be here.
Well, it seems like you were just an all-around great performance today. The starts, the speed, and everything, so congratulations. Open it up to questions from the media.
Joe, I was talking to your Joe Cancelleri around A1, and I know even then he was very high on the chance of you being able to line up for East Coast.
Yep.
He seemed pretty excited about it. When did you really – I know you say you got clearance a couple weeks ago, but even before then, did you think it was reality? Did you up your off-the-bike preparation in any way to prepare for this, thinking that, hey, you would only have limited time on the bike to come race this championship?
Yeah, see, I think, I get paid to race and go do good out there, and it's my job to line up and race. But at the same time, the neck is this injury is pretty sensitive for, it's a big one. And honestly, I got approved by a doctor, but you never know till you go back riding again, right? And I feel comfortable and strong enough. And me and Joe's been working hard, doing the right preparation, right rehab. So whenever the time comes, I don't feel too far off. And but I would say I was pretty rusty all day long today, but ended up good, so I'll take it.
Mitch Kendra with Racer X. Yeah, you mentioned qualifying. I think you were 15th or so at one point. Was there any nerves after qualifying? To start with that.
Yeah. Well, and also just not riding, and I mean I haven't been doing a lot of testing either. So my bike was kind of the same thing from last year, and I kind of struggled a little bit last year, and just each session we got a little bit better, and by the main event comes around, I'm like, let's just make it stiff enough to where I can, kind of send it, and shift the focus to, jump in whoops or get a good start, just focus on the things I can do, and for tonight it was okay.
Yeah, and then whenever Pierce was ahead of you, it looked like you were playing it smart, not forcing it. You showed him a wheel a couple times. Could you just talk about the approach? Like, it seemed like you were playing the long game, but you're showing him a wheel, show him you were there. I guess talk through managing, not forcing it.
Yeah, I was like, because it's my first round too, and it's like I kind of had a pace to get him, but at the same time, like, do I really need to just running? Because the track is track too. Like, it had a lot of room to move around, but all the lines he was taking was out to in, and I could have just kind of jump into the inside and make him pass, but I wasn't really getting close enough to where I can do that. So yeah, for tonight, I'm fine with P2, and we're just gonna build from here.
Jamie Guida, MotoXPod.com. Joe, there was a little confusion with the red light as you crossed the finish line mid-race. Have you heard any more about that? Have you guys checked into it?
So I think it's under investigation right now. I did see a red light on the double, So I had to slow down. I have to roll the jump, and I couldn't get enough momentum to jump the finish line because the finish line wasn't on. But yeah, when I went through, it was red, but no one was down. Like, it wouldn't make sense to me if someone was down before I hit the jump, and right when I rolled the jump, it turned off. It makes sense. But if not, then I think it's fair enough to have the points, given to me. I mean, I think it was like 2.5 or 3 seconds. I mean, I couldn't jump this whole rhythm section, so it was big. It was a big one. And 3 points matters maybe at the end of the year. So, but we'll see. It's under investigation right now.
Kellen Brower, Swap Moto Live. Can you just talk about the intensity of being back in a main event with such short amount of time to even prepare for this? Like, was there moments of the race that you thought, let me just settle and take a second here because I kind of need to, go into the season healthy?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I was feeling pretty rusty, but this is every time to me. My adrenaline just kicks in at the race. I just never can really flip the switch, from the practice. And when the race time comes on, it's just like, just everything just seems to turn on, So, yeah, I was honestly, a little bit tired at the end, but also there's a lot of things like on the bike. I still feel uncomfortable. We just have, honestly, I'm just behind. Yeah.
Scott Yarjamoto now. So you just mentioned there's still things on the bike that you feel uncomfortable with. Did you make lots of changes throughout the day on the bike?
Yeah. We mostly just suspension stuff. Made improvements little by little. And like I said, main event, we made things stiff enough to where, okay, we just send it for tonight. But yeah, I do need to work on it. And I think we're only going to get better from here. Yeah.
Scott Thompson, MotoExpod.com. Joe, to go back a few months ago, obviously the injury takes you down, and then we're able to get back to this point, and you would tell yourself then that you were going to be in the points battle, lead race, lead laps, and put yourself in position in the championship. How do you tell yourself that, back then?
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know. Like, my goal was to, coming into this round, it was just top 10, maybe top 8. And in good side, top 5. But like I said, everything just kicked in on the race. Like, I think I'm just a racer. Everything felt good. Like, I felt sharp. But like I said, I think we have lots of things to work on. I can be a lot better. And yeah, I think we just have to get back to the work. It's a long series too, so. Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Okay. Daxton Bennick, what is it about these opening rounds? It seems that multiple times in a row now you found yourself on the podium. It can't be pure coincidence, right?
No. I feel like today I struggled pretty bad all day. In the heat, I was horrendous. So I turned it around in the main event, which obviously when it counted. But no, I feel like I've always had a really good, strong off season into the first round, and then I've had some trouble after that, so hopefully we can just, keep the ball rolling and stay healthy.
Adam from Track Talkers. Daxton, just elaborate a little bit more from the start of the day. What were you guys changing bike setup-wise, or just trying to get used to the track? And then I guess my big question for you, in that main event, I saw you right behind Joe. You were hitting that 3 out of the corner before the whoop section, and you were not committing to blitzing the whoops. I know jumping was obviously the safer line, but I could see it from a mile away. You would have got Joe if you could have blitzed those whoops. Is that something you might want to get back?
Yeah, I struggle with that all day. I've been really good at the practice track with that. I just struggled with that all day. I think it kind of was in my head from the beginning. But just something I need to go back and work on a little bit. But also, I don't know if that, that's a risk to take for sure. Like, could also put you on the ground. So, I think I could have got it done in other places too. And maybe if I was just a bit cleaner everywhere else, it could have worked too. So, thank you.
Michael Lindsay from Vital MX. Ultimately, Daxton, your tenure at Star Racing didn't fully work out. You're back on Austrian platform. It's where you spent a bunch of your amateur career. A big part of that, at least personally from my side, I was excited for is you working with Nate Ramsey again. I think Nate does phenomenal with youth riders like yourself coming up. You have experience with him when he was the Orange Brigade amateur team manager. Can you tell me a little bit about the environment, how Nate's helped you, how the structure has overall helped you get to this place to kick off the season?
Yeah, I feel like obviously me and Nate's worked together before, but at a completely different level, obviously. In amateurs, it was a lot different. It wasn't serious and maybe not in depth, but now I feel like it's just at a higher level, obviously, and more like a day-to-day type thing. Like he's checking in, obviously, during the week and stuff. And then I have Murph, too, at the Baker factory every week, which is nice. And yeah, it's a really good group of guys that are around me with Eldon, Justin, and the whole crew. So I feel like it was a good environment change, to be honest. And yeah, it's been going good.
Kellen Brower, Swap Moto Live. To kind of continue on from that question, can you just talk about the differences of what you like about your program this year versus what you've come in the past with Star, like training at the facility, working with these guys? What is the biggest upside to it for you?
I mean, I can just focus on myself a little more. At Star, obviously, there's a lot of good 250 guys, and it was a battle every day. So I feel like that's really the biggest difference. As far as training, it's somewhat similar. Of course, they have their differences, but I feel like this program's really good, and yeah, I feel like I did work with Eldon in the past, but it's changed a lot, to be honest, and in a really positive way.
Mitch with Racer X. Talk a little bit about the track breaking down, and I know you're hitting that quad line. Look like you're hitting it in traffic a little bit too. Just talk about the time that you could have gained from that line and knowing when to pull the trigger on that jump and when not to.
Yeah, dude. First, the track broke down gnarly. I mean, I raced here in 2024, but I don't remember it being this gnarly. It was tough. Like I said, I had a hard day all day. Really, I fought the track, but I knew if I could get that 3 in and then get the 4 out, like no one else in front of me was doing it. So I thought maybe that was a opportunity for me. But I was definitely making time a little there, and then I was jumping the whoops pretty good. Could probably clean up some of the turns, but yeah, it was probably the roughest main I've been a part of for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hunter, congratulations. Your first win indoors, that is. You've been right there all season long. Was there a switch that you had to flip tonight, or what we saw from you, from your perspective, is this just more of what you've been doing? It just broke through tonight.
I think it's more of what I've been doing. I really feel like my riding in Seattle could have led me to a similar result. I just feel like the biggest key thing was get wheel spin on the gate. Tonight I got around the first turn in that top 5, and like Eli was saying earlier, it's really important for the start, honestly, with how good the class is. Yeah, it's tough to have a really bad start and then expect to come through and battle for a win.
Michael Lindsay from Vital MX. Hunter, you've mentioned the last couple weeks post-race that to get this win that you knew you had to be better in the first 5 and 10 minutes, that you needed to be able to sprint, be able to push your pace. You've commented before that you've been trying to figure out how to trust the bike or certain other things in the opening part of the race. What was the breakthrough tonight for you to have that early race pace?
I don't know. Like we've been working on the bike and stuff and improving it. I've been getting better and just racing myself in, I guess. Honestly, it's tough to replicate racing, and I definitely think my first half of the races has gotten better for sure. So yeah, it just kind of gets better throughout the racing. The more I gel with the bike, the more you just kind of get more familiarized with it, I think.
And then the Premier 450 Supercross class, when you've, again, won basically almost everything that you possibly can at this point, including Motocross of Nations, where does this win stack up to finally get this one done?
Yeah, it's really good. Probably the coolest thing is just the biggest paying bonus. Like Nations, we don't really make anything, so that's probably like the coolest thing.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. Another battle with Kenny. You showed a lot of patience. Was it difficult to show the patience? Was there a deja vu moment in there about the incident recently?
No, it was. I mean, it's like just chess out there. Like you try and he would make a little mistake, and I'd try and get there, but then he'd have the inside for the next corner, and it was really cool. I think that racing to watch and to be a part of is really cool. The battle goes on for multiple laps, and it was really cool. really cool.
Kellen Brower with Swap Moto Live. Kind of an extension to that. When you have Coop so close behind you at the same time, what's going on in your head about, well, if I make a pass here and make a slight mistake, then I might lose a spot? And how do you kind of balance those two things at the same time when you're trying to actually pass into the lead?
Yeah, it's cool, honestly. It's like that. Don't mess up, you're playing defense, but you're playing offense. Like, it's cool. I really enjoy that because it is such a tricky spot to be in. But, man, it feels good when you pull it off. You know, I think that's one of those, like, very high stakes pressure moment, which, like, I don't know, I just love that, you know. It's so cool and so fun.
Scott Yarjo Moto now. What was going through your head that last lap? Any nerves?
No, it was just like one more lap, just hit my marks, don't do anything stupid. I need to get across the finish line. That's honestly it.
Scott Thompson, MotoXpod.com. You've been in the title fight this whole race. Obviously, your points leader coming in. There was a stat floating around where most of the recent champions have had a win in the first 7 rounds. It's round 7. You got to win. How does that feel to kind of get that out of the way? And how do you carry that momentum moving forward in this championship fight?
I mean, not really any different. Honestly, I feel like I've been doing the same thing for every round this year, and I feel like it's been doing well. So I think, you know, just keep doing the same approach. Don't need to change a bunch of stuff and just kind of stick with it because it's been, you know, I've been getting good starts and been riding well in the main event. You know, I just need to keep doing that.
Mitch with Racer X. I feel like there was constant pressure throughout the whole race. There was, you know, you were passing guys, had guys on you. A couple close calls on the whoops. We know you keep it calm and cool in the middle, but how do you keep your heart rate and keep it in calm when you have a couple close calls like the end of the whoops there and just everything going on? How do you just remain so calm and collected throughout all this chaos?
Yeah, the whoops were tricky tonight, man. Like, the dirt here looked insane, but I blame the monster trucks, man. Anytime they come in before us on the dirt, it just sucks. Like, the dirt's so different after. But, yeah, just breathe a ton around the flat turn after it and finish line, you know, you're breathing in the air, just kind of pushing to your max, but trying to just hold it at your max, you know. It's like such a fine line that you kind of walk along and just get to 15-minute mark, and then you're like, all right, let's empty the tank.
Trace Dyer, Trans World Motocross, motocross.com. To continue with a little bit of Mitch's point, it seemed like some of the lap riders were either a little bit unaware of the leaders were coming by or unaware that there were so many of you guys really close together. How did you manage to stay focused with all the chaos that was going on and to try to move around those guys without having an impact on your race?
Yeah, I mean, it's just what we have to deal with as racers. I mean, all of us have had the short end of that stick multiple times. When you're leading and you get into lappers first, they kind of get caught by surprise, or sometimes they'll get out of the way and then they don't know about the second and third guy. So it's just kind of one of those things that you can be so prepared for it, but sometimes it just doesn't work out because they're out there doing their own race. So I didn't think the lappers were too bad tonight, honestly. I thought they were pretty okay for how many laps we did, and we got pretty deep. So.
Speaking of that chess match with Kenny, after the mechanics area right hand, you either had the option of on, off, or table on. I was really surprised that Kenny kept getting defensive in that section, would give you the run. He would keep doing the slower line to protect that inside. From your position, were you shocked at all that kind of kept opening up? And after a while, did you know, like, okay, this is eventually where the spot's going to be if he keeps letting me have this?
Yes and no. Like, he would have had to messed up the inside for me to and go really high on that table. But like, as you've seen, he would always have the inside for the next corner. So it was just kind of not following. I know this line. I know if I can get it, I can maybe make something happen, maybe scrub through the next one a little better. But, you know, he's such an experienced guy. He was able to just get over it and then scrub through the next two just enough to be beside me into the next one. And at that one time where we both kind of went into the 90 and rolled, I was kind of like, oh, I hope we don't get past behind us, because I felt like we slowed down a bit. But no, it was good fun. Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, Lars Lindstrom, team manager for Honda HRC Progressive. You know, your team, no strangers to these wins and these podiums, but nights like tonight, even in a year or two where your team has struggled with injuries, what's this do for morale for your entire team?
Yeah, it's a huge morale boost. I mean, both classes, right? We won both classes tonight. I'm not sure if you know that, but Joe really got the short end of the stick on that Red Cross thing, which I'm still fighting right now, protesting right now. So, but yeah, I mean, we have 2 riders here. Both guys are potential winners for sure with Hunter, and then the team being here. A lot of the guys, my boss Jeremy's here, Trish is here. A lot of people from the team that aren't with us every single weekend. With the True Timber look for military appreciation and all that. All those kind of things make it special. And I think, morale boost for sure. We're all getting free lunch on Monday, which is a big deal for Trish. So.
Mitch with Racer X, obviously the job's not done, as Hunter would say. There's a lot of racing to go. He has had the points lead for a couple races. He's got a win now. Just talk about the progression that you've seen with him since he's been on the team. He had those injuries early on. He fought through them. He didn't retire. He came back better. He's won now at different levels. Just talk about the progression you've seen with him and how important that's been, not only his career, but his character and this growth you've seen in him.
Yeah, I think Hunter's, and I say this all the time, but his mental strength is his greatest attribute. He just there's been guys in the past that haven't really been able to get through to the next level of the sport, and they've been great riders too. And he just has a ton of belief in himself, and obviously with his family, with us and the team, and all the hard work he puts in to be at this level. He just never ceases to amaze, and he never gets too high, never gets too low. Even coming off the track, he wasn't even like that stoked. You're like, I'm freaking out. He's kind of like, oh, whatever. And so, which is funny to me that he's able to be that calm in that moment, which is why I think he can pull off, wins like that. Like I mentioned on the broadcast too, Cooper Webb's coming into the turn, just revving at him, coming in the turn. A lot of guys probably get in their heads, and that kind of stuff doesn't really bother him. He just keeps going, keeps ticking off those laps, and I mean, he's kind of done that through his career. This is exactly what happened in his 250. This is where he got his first 250 win. I'm sure everybody's talked about that. So all of those things, it's just, it's really impressive, and he surprises me all the time with that kind of stuff.
Scott Yarjo, Moto now. In regards to the situation with the lights with Joe, you say you're still talking to AMA about it. What do you think is, I guess, fair for the AMA to do about that? And what are you expecting?
Just go by the rule book. I mean, we've definitely been penalized for red cross flags more than any other team, and I've always, accepted that. When the red flag's flashing right before the finish line, Joe did the right thing and he rolled, and then I feel like now is the time for them to stand by the rule book and do the right penalty, which is loss of a position for the position gain, and then 5 championship points.
Scott Thompson, MotoXPod.com. Both of your riders exemplified their resiliency and their character this weekend with both of their performances. Just talk about how you've seen both of those guys develop into the riders and the championship contenders that they are now, and why you're happy that they're your guys on Team Honda.
Yeah, I mean, for Joe, it was just a bonus that he made the first round here, So we definitely didn't have any expectations for him to have a result like he did tonight. I told him before the main event, I'm like, do it, get the result that the track gives you, basically, But I said, but don't forget, you are a freak, like his physical, capability too. He's got a gift that he doesn't seem to get arm pumped, doesn't really get tired too often, and he's got 5 days of Supercross on his belt right now. So for him to do that and not really fade, I mean, he's pressuring Brown for the win at the end, is unbelievable. I don't know how he does that, and it's awesome having these guys. I mean, both of them are considered probably underdogs right now, and for them to do what they did tonight is just, everybody on the team is super proud.
I know you said that Joe's he wanted to get back for this race initially when he'd gotten hurt, and I'm sure the decision was his. He got cleared from the doctor. It was his decision. You guys weren't pushing him. I guess qualifying, you said it wasn't great. Do you guys have a conversation of how are you feeling, and I guess is there any nerves of qualifying isn't going good? I guess do you rethink it at all, and what's do you have those conversations? Because I know your guys are open to communication like that. Do you guys talk about things like that and hey, just playing it smart? I guess what's the approach?
Yeah, we had kind of a powwow with just a couple key people in this morning with Joe, and just kind of setting expectations for the day, so that he's got a lot of people that are wishing him well and want the best for him, and and then maybe he gets a little bit ahead of himself of where he should be. I'm honestly, a top 10 is what we were hoping for, and just a safe day. And then, but people start saying, hey, you look great, you look this, and maybe he starts feeling better. And then I told him those guys are going to go out and haul ass, excuse my French, in practice, like which they did. I knew Davies and Pierce would be super quick, and along with other guys. I mean, they would call it 15th, right, or something like that. So I just wanted him not to get discouraged when those guys go that fast in qualifying, and I knew he wasn't going to go that fast. And I'm glad he didn't, because he's not there yet. So, when he got that start and then he's there, I mean, all this, obviously the guys going down in the first turn gave a big kind of opportunity to get a better result than probably he would have gotten. The carrot was there, and he just kept going, and I think he rode super smart, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, buddy, don't overdo it right now. I mean, for where we're at, but it was just kind of a dream result, really.
Mike Lindsay from BioMX, circling back to the red light and then red cross flag. One thing that hasn't been mentioned yet in this is almost same thing happened to Hunter. There was a red cross flag on the finish line that Hunter rolled. I believe Eli and a handful of others have jumped. Same thing. I know it didn't affect your race outcome the same way it is 250s, but have you guys also been in communication AMA about what's going to happen with the 450 class? A couple of riders directly behind Hunter.
Yeah, I'm going to be going there right after this, but that one is clear cut. I don't see how there's any question on that one. So, I mean, they're going to be losing some points on that one, and I don't think they gain any position, so I guess they won't get that. But, I mean, that definitely helps us out. I mean, I think it's 5 points. So I think the lead went from 4 points to 9 points now, which is significant. So I got to check on that one, but I can't see that one being a question. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Okay, congratulations on this podium finish, a very valuable points night as well. The fight you had in here, let's go back to the very beginning of the race. It seems like you were making multiple passes every few seconds. So what was going on at the early point of this race to start out?
Yeah, I was buried in the first turn. I would say kind of gambled on the inside. It was strong in the heat races, the inside gates, and then in the main, I don't know, it kind of just didn't play out like to where you could sneak around the inside, but made some good passes like the first lap. And then maybe it was lap 2 in the 90-degree corners. I made 4, basically, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 passes. I'm like, that was pretty lucky to get up there, and then I was able to kind of get on the lead group. So there was some fortune in there for how bad that start was. And then it was just the usual now. Like, track was super broke down. This dirt is very, very hard to read. It looks awesome, but it has a really slick base to it. So that was a challenge tonight, and of course, just battling with the group up front. Yeah, it was like it kind of just chaos. Like, there was so much going on with the crowd, and I was kind of just sitting there watching. And in my opinion, I kind of watched too much. I wish I would have got up from a little bit quicker, but that's how it goes. And I guess just okay with that second.
Mitch from Racer X, I was going to ask you, were kind of sitting there watching the battle, almost in case something happened, you weren't going to get caught in it. But then you also made a 2-for-1 pass. Can you talk about that and just how you watch that and kind of maybe playing that? It's hard to plan when everything is chaos, but talk about that 2-for-1 pass you got there. That was big.
On who? I don't remember.
Roxon and Webb.
Oh yeah. Anyway, like I said, I wish I would have got into that heat of the battle earlier. Like, I felt like I was kind of waiting too long for that stuff, but is what it is, and hey, that's just what I had tonight.
Michael Lindsay, BioMX. Something that might play out to a pivotal part of this race. We're still waiting for both 250 and 450 class with red cross, red light moments. Did you, by any chance, see the one? I know it's a weird position with the double into the finish line. I know Hunter rolled, and there was a red cross flag out. Did you see it? Have you been informed of anything further on that so far?
Yeah, I don't know the exact result of that. Yep. I don't really remember. I didn't see any lights or anything, so I'm just gonna hold my comment on that and see what happens. Yep.
And last one, military appreciation. You all Daystar guys have pretty phenomenal gear this weekend. You've worked with them for a long time. Talk about it.
Yeah, it was nice to run some Air Force. My brother's in the Air Force. Had a super cool helmet, really cool gear. Got some camo on our bike. So yeah. Like I said, that helmet is totally awesome. So it was a fun race to show the appreciation for the military.
All right, Scott Thompson, MotoExpert.com. You mentioned being buried on the start and kind of getting lucky in the first couple passes. Finding yourself in that position where you can see the lead and having a chance at the race, does this feel like a race that you did the best that you could, or one that kind of maybe has slipped away a little bit, a win left on the table?
I would say I'm pretty fortunate to get second for where I was around that first turn. So I'm satisfied with the second, I guess, for, like I said, where I came around there. And it's just, yeah, there's so many good guys now. It's hard to expect to go all the way to the front when you're that buried.
Scott Yarja, Moto Now. It seems like you're dealing with a bit of a sickness. Did that impact you at all, like fatigue-wise, later on in that race?
No, I was okay. So sound kind of roachy, but my energy was fine today.
Trey Steyer, Transworld Motocross, motocross.com. It seems like every week the championship battle is changing. You gain some points, then Hunter gains some points. When you're looking at the big picture, how easy is it to lose track of the sight that everything is flipping back and forth every weekend? And how do you get in that mindset of just plugging away and doing your own race instead of trying to get huge chunks of points at a time?
There's so many of us now, like, you know, the 4 or 5 of us, that it's hard to, you can't expect to have a huge points grab, because it's just, we're all really consistent. And they say it's like the most packed year, but there's like, I mean, it is, but at the same time, it's, you know, the same 4 or 5 of us are really showing ourselves. We're making our way to the front, so those big point scrap get harder and harder to happen.
Kellen Brower, Swap Moto Live. You talked about your start a little bit. They started the season great, and then they've been a little up and down the last couple of weeks. Is there anything you can kind of point to that you're going to go back to trying to work on to just fine tune them a little bit this week?
Yeah, I need to clean them up. So they've definitely have been hit and miss. Good ones are good. Bad ones are not so great. So of course, go back, do some study, and see what we make better.
Cooper Webb, if there were any opportunities out there to be found, you were seeing them and you were going for it. At times it seemed like there might have been frustrating situations out there. What kind of emotions were you battling throughout that main?
Just, you know, cat and mouse. Like, you're trying to make the move on Kenny, but then you got someone behind you, and he's going, you know, fast, but then it felt like we were kind of a little bit faster coming through. So pick your lines, and basically I made 2 mistakes all night, or one really big one on the on-off, and that's what Hunter got me. And then, I just kind of was bummed at myself. I feel like early in the race I should have made something happen. But with that being said, you know, it is what it is. We were all really close, and just later, like I said, when Eli made his pass on me, I had just got around Kenny, and then obviously had to get back when I came on the track, I was behind him. So just, kind of got unfortunate, shuffled around, and kind of lost that toe at the end when I had to get by around 94 late, and they just had that gap on me. So happy with the riding, just need to be more aggressive at the beginning.
Mitch with Racer X, you mentioned the aggressiveness at the beginning. I think it was the second turn there. Kenny, you were right next to each other. How do you manage that fine line of not being too aggressive, you know, 2 turns into the race, but knowing something like that's coming here and there? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's hard. You want to solidify yourself. And I should have shut the door maybe in the first rhythm, and I didn't. I kind of, wanted to give him a little bit of room, and he took advantage of it. As we know, Kenny's really good at the beginning of the races, so that's where you don't want to get cat and mouse and slow the race up. So I was happy with, like, kind of settling in, slotting in behind him, but then there was a certain time where it's like, hey, it's time to go, and the guys are coming. So, and I think we just all knew, like, whoever got Kenny first could break away, and that was going to do the job, and I think that's what happened.
Trey Steyer, Transworld Motocross, motocross.com. On a bit of a lighter note, you had a different helmet and different kind of gear during the opening ceremonies. How cool was it for you to pay tribute to so many people who have served in the Air Force and to represent them on a stage like this?
Yeah, man, it was great. It's obviously a special weekend, as always, with the military appreciation, but especially opening ceremonies was the lit kit. I got a legit Air Force kit with the patches, everything legit. It was in battle use, so that was pretty cool, and it's always an honor to race hard for them, but also, as everyone knows here, like, they go through it, so it's the least we can do to give back. So it was really cool setup for opening ceremonies.
Scott Thompson, MotoExpo.com. Coop, you were kind of known for the king of being on one-on-one battles. Now that we're in this situation where all 4 guys that are in the title contention were all top 4 in that race, and we're all battling for the entirety, how does that change your mentality when it comes to racecraft and your tactics when it comes to finding your position in the race?
It doesn't change much. You just kind of read the room as is, and like I said, it was going to be who didn't make mistakes, and like I said, I felt like it was going to be whoever got Kenny first was going to be able to break away, and that's exactly what Hunter did. Obviously, Eli's smart, Kenny's smart, Hunter's smart, I'm smart. There was clearly tonight, I think it was just like slot car. I felt like we were at the 500 just drafting each other, honestly. So, yeah, like I said, I think I'll rewatch it and see where I could have been better. But the one mistake I know on the on-off cost me by Hunter getting by. But other than that, I felt like I had a solid race, and it's one of those woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Kellen Brower, Swap Moto Live. When you got Kenny, I'm sure you knew Eli was right there, but did you expect him to make kind of such a hard attempt on you? And then when you went on the concrete, how did you kind of not panic too much and maybe lose it right there trying to get back on the track?
Yeah, I really didn't, only because, obviously I had just gotten him, so I was kind of protecting that inside a little bit, but then I had kind of been going wide and cutting down, and so when I kind of heard someone there, I was a bit surprised, and then when he really put me off, I was like, oh, okay. And then, like I said, that allowed Kenny to get back by, so that kind of sucked in that sense. But yeah, when you're off the track on the concrete, it's scary. You don't want to get on it hard. You don't really know what to do. So I just kind of did what I felt was right, which was, I think, the clear place. But yeah, I ended up getting kind of passed twice. So like I said, the turn before you make a pass, I'm ready to set still, and got shuffled back from that. So that was a bit of a bummer. It wasn't dirty or anything, but it would have been nice to not get behind 94 again.
Michael Lindsay from Vital MX. Naturally, the top guys you're racing with are the main competitors, but what was the second biggest piece of competition tonight, the lappers or that track?
Like Hunter said, the lappers were bad, but it's just there wasn't much you could do, to be completely honest. We're all doing the same lines and the same thing, so they tried their hardest, but the track was gnarly. I mean, there's no doubt. I love that. I love when it breaks down. But as we saw, the whoops claimed a lot of people, so I stuck to old reliable jump line, which I think was the best approach. And same thing, like I saw Hunter get all side plates a few times, and I thought that was going to be the crash, and it wasn't. So tip the cap for him. But yeah, track was gnarly. It was tricky as always, but it was fun.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. You may have answered it kind of, but when you said you didn't think there was anything dirty about the pass. But do you feel like you got used up just a little bit? Like maybe there could have been a little more patience on that one pass that Eli made on the two of you guys?
I mean, obviously, yeah, on my end, I'm hoping it didn't happen, right? But yeah, I mean, it's I think Eli had the same mentality as me. Like, we all needed to get with Hunter if we wanted a chance at winning, and I think that's where he saw his opening. I can't fault him for that, but like I said, going off and then losing that position, like I said, just getting kind of eaten up in that way was a bummer, because I felt like I wasn't holding three up at all. We were all riding good, but like I said, shoulda, woulda, coulda, and if I see an opening, I'll be sure to take it.